What's up, Buff Cat fans? Specifically, the Joe Meister. He's gonna be so happy seeing this. We've got MCA Week 1 versus Tylenol. It was a good game, so I kind of wanted to record it and just talk about it a little bit. But well, I'm gonna go ahead and go over our team first. We have the Tusk, swallow out guys. Terra Tusk, just an elite option. We got fifth pick, sixth pick. They kind of needed Tusk. He's the best available Pokemon. And then the probably hide this. That's the wrong thing. That's probably what I should have done from the beginning. But and then what does Tusk need? He needs elite speed. So what do we get? Yeah, we buy on Dio speed. Guys that fill in that speed tiers. And then Terra Crown happened to fall right to us. I think it's a good secondary captain with Iron Treads. Great Tusk. This provides dual booster pressure. Just we don't have to have scarfs on our Terra guys to really do damage. Or we can boost however we want. And just two versatile mons that can bring any set any week. And then the obvious thing that we needed after first three is some pivots, and Crown also falls into that. But our main pivot's got to be Marina. Bulky water, they can flip turn. Well, yippee! It can be Scarf, it can just do damage. It's a good Pokemon all around. Yeah, wouldn't be a Buff Cat SV team if there was no Ogerpon. So here's our Ogerpon Growth Point. Also, we need a 110 speed, so yay! He made the team. We're supposed to have this Mandibuzz. It's kind of just rotten on this team here. If we would just swap these two mons right here, Mandy and the Hydreigon, both teams would just instantly become better. But we don't. We have Hydreigon. Yeah, this guy stole my Mandy, so our goal is to lock in and beat him this week. See how that goes. But yeah, Hydreigon's another pivot guy. He gets U-turn. He gets hazards, which alleviates Dio and Tusk from rocking. So he can also do that. There's also nasty plot sets. There's also Dragon Dance sets that we can run. A good Scarfer and a Dark type, which is we have Weavile, but I don't really think Weavile is Dark type. I think there's Pokemon like Gran and Weavile that are definitely types, but they don't resist anything, regardless of what it is. So it doesn't matter. They're immune to Psychic, and that's about it. And even then, that's a barely. Then we have Rotom. It's our spin blocker. Another flying resist to pair with Crown. Overall, just whatever, Mon. He's cool. Another Levitator, so we have a free switch anytime we want to either Hydreigon, Rotom, Crown. They're expecting a ground move. We have Swallow. We had 2 points left. Needed a grounded poison, and there he was. That's pretty much where we're at. So we'll go ahead and throw this back up. We'll go over prep. It's the game. So first thing we notice when we look at this prep is Weavile has a very good matchup. It can hit Torn super effectively before Terra. It can hit Ogerpon neutral with Taxel. We have low kick for Heatran. The only thing that can really take 2 hits is this Iron Hands. And Galarian Weezing also takes 2 hits, but again, it doesn't really do much to us. It doesn't punish us because we're pads. That's going to be his Rocky Helmet guy if he has to have one. So we're going to go pads. We're going to avoid Flame Body procs on Heatran. We're also going to avoid Rocky Helmets on Weezing so we can start immediately working down that Weavile every time we get it in. Then as you can see, the last 5 guys, Weavile wants to triple axle, wants to knock off, wants to axle. Pretty self-explanatory. We think Weavile is the best offensive piece in this game, and it should force progress every time it gets in and clicks a button. The same can be said about Ogerpon, Earthflame. There is no fire resists on this team, other than Heatproof Bronzong. It's not even a resist. It's neutral. So there's no fire resists. So he kind of expects this hands to be Terra Dragon. If it does, one of these guys is going to be a Terra guy, and then one of them is going to be an oh shit button. That's going to be a defensive Terra that can counter probably Weavile or Hearthflame. So with the typing profiles, he wants water, he wants dragon. If he goes dragon, Weavile's free. If he goes water, Ogerpon's free. Those are going to be our two main progress makers in this game because they can, and they force progress every time they get in. Tusk, we're running as a late game cleaner because the goal is to whittle Weezing Galar down to open up this set all the way. Once we get a little bit of chip on Ogerpon, chip on Heatran, not Heatran, a little bit of chip on Iron Hands, this set is opened up pretty much freely. But we need to chip Weezing into a +1 Heavy Slam range or +2 Heavy Slam range to chip the Ogerpon Wellspring. It's not going to do a bunch of damage to us, but it will. If it does crit us, it will do at least 50. So, and that hits through our bulk ups, which is not good. Hydreigon, it's our obligatory Scarfer. I use that word right. Don't question. We kind of needed to check this Torn and this Ogerpon a little bit, in some senses. It's just didn't really do anything else. There's a set I wanted to run. I won't get into it because I think it's a very good set, and I should keep it hidden. But it just struggled to end up killing the hand in the end. And especially with Terra hands, I didn't want to run it. So we just kind of went for Scarf. We knew we had a safety blanket if Weavile and Dio Speed die to be a top speed guy. And we also need Hydra to force in the Weezing to start opening the game up for Tusk. To open or to clean late game. He also tries to make progress, but he's really not there to make progress. Here is our lead. Our Dio Speed. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free. This is a post-com on the game, so I know exactly what this Dio does. Designed to lead into a booster speed shocks or sandy shocks in general. It also can lead into Torn, but we prefer to see shocks, and we're going to see sandy shocks, and we're going to go nasty plot. Okay, if he sets up Hazard before he Thunderwaves us, because we are Lumberry, it's a Hazard before he paralyzes us. The game's over. We're going +4, and we're winning the game. Nothing wants to take a hit. We have to hit one Focus Blast into the Heatran, maybe another Focus Blast into a Terra Torn. That's it. We're winning the game. If you Hazard stack on us with this, or you try to Hazards with the Sandy Shocks, you're in for a world of hurt. And why do we have to do this? Because you're not running Spin on Tusk. Good team, we also don't have another remover. So we have to play very aggressive. We have to go Taunt, or we have to be Nasty Plot Dio this game. We, again, don't have Spin on Tusk. So we just want to get in and hit something hard, and then hit something else hard. And then continue to hit this everything hard. And again, we have 6-0 potential if he does not Thunderwave us turn 1 or damage us turn 1. If you go for Spikes or Stealth Rocks turn 1, oh, game's over. We're going +4. You need to have a Sucker Punch guy, or you need to have a Scarfer that is Espeon. You have to have Scarf Espeon to eventually beat this thing where it's at, or Scarf Torn, which, why would you run Scarf Torn? It's not great in this, so realistically, it's Scarf Espeon, or we win the game 6-0 if we go +4. And then we have our safety net against Torn. Just a bunch of moves that hit it hard, regardless of what Terra type it goes into. Maybe Terra Steel and bench both Steels could be an option, or Terra Dragon. This team will want to be Terra Dragon a whole lot, because again, have one water resist in Ogerpon Wellspring, and you have one fire resist in Heatran. So, yeah, it is able to hit any Terra guy or any Terra Dragon guys. We can set the Drain Punch on Iron Hands. We can start Tashion Cuttering the Thorn, and then we also have Focus Blast for the Heatran and everything. So this guy can come in on Torn and then try to get a move hit something from there. Okay. We're going to hop into the game. That first. So, as you know, we're leading the DO speed. Oh, and guess what? We got the lead we expected. Okay. Also, shout out Blue Fusion for the push towards getting me to go offensive DO. I just wanted to hazard stack and play a game, but this helped me get this Tusk set to where I needed it. But we set on offensive DO speed. I was wanting to stack hazards and just play that game, but ultimately lose because he has two loggers, and we'll never get an option to break. So, how does turn one go? We get our nasty plot. We get Thunder Waved. Oh well. We kill Psycho Boost or Ice Beam. Then turn two, we get the Mana Buzz to 15%. So now, after this, we've gotten Mana Buzz for free at this point. We still can set up to start punishing everything. We see Terra Steel Torn. It can't be an immediate counter because we have Focus Blast. Ogre Wellspring dies to Psycho Boost. Iron Hands dies to Psycho Boost. Terra Waters. And even then, I believe it was a roll to kill Hands if he Terra's out of it. It was a 90 to 100. So, obviously, Weezing can't counter it. Drax will die to an Ice Beam. Which, yeah. So, we go ahead. We finish off this Mana Buzz with another Ice Beam. Wahoo! Here's the Terra Torn comes in. We know it's going to Terra here. We launch a Focus Blast. We miss! No big deal. He can't kill us in one turn. Launch another. Oh, and we miss again. And there goes our Torn. Or there goes our DO speed. So, wahoo. Fun game. Love it. So we do know it was a roll. Now with the psychic noise damage, it was still a 6.3 roll. So, like, we can, if we hit Focus Blast, we can clean up with Ice Beam or Psycho Boost and then proceed to 6-0. Or at least put it into a 5-0. But no, we miss, and we realize it's AV Torn at this point. We hit the heal block, we get knocked off, our Assault Vest goes by, and we miss the third Focus Blast of the game. Pretty awesome. So you can see everything. I think text chat goes off at some point here. So now we miss our third Focus Blast. So it's kind of like, what the hell are we going to do? We finally connect on the Focus Blast after he misses a Heat Wave, which completely justified. Like, completely deserved. And then we know we can U-turn with the High Dragon. So we get the momentum back. We could have gone to Ogre upon Hearthflame on the U-turn, or we could have doubled into Hearthflame knowing he was going to probably go into the Shocks or Torn. He doesn't really want to go into because we can, again, get High Dragon in for free and start clicking buttons. So we just fire off a Psychic, or we fire off a Tashion cutter here. I think Psychic Noise was ultimately better, but we go into High Dragon. We know we resist everything that it wants to throw at us. He gets Spike up, no big deal. And there's where Flash Cannon comes in. We are now seeing, now that he's Terra'd, we are now seeing the Great Tusk endgame that we wanted, for one. So it's very worth it just to sack High Dragon, get the second Flash Cannon. We've now set up the Great Tusk endgame. We know the Shock is not Booster. We've confirmed Tornadus is not Scarf. And we know Ogre Pawn has to set up to be faster than us, to get a Trailblaze off to become faster than us. And it also loses a lot of damage potential once we tear out Electric. So now we go to Crown. We want a little more chip on everything. I get Great Tusk in the perfect position. Now, Crown goes down to this. We get Weavile in. Surely, this is going to be a fun turn for us. Get the knockoff. We get rid of this guy's Rocky Helmet, too. We're just, again, we just want triple axle. We want to get damage. We want to get this to a point where Great Tusk is free. And we miss triple axle into the Weezing. So what do we have to do? We have to go for it again. We get the 3-piece. At this point, we're pissed in the chat because we've missed 3 focus blasts and a triple axle. So fun. Like, I'm having fun. This game was completely like ripped from our hands within the first 5 turns. We had to pilot it back to even get in a chance where we can win. And it looks pretty good now that everything's dead. Very Tusk. And this right here was so great for us because, like, we got 60% of Torrent's health. We've negated it down, all of its regens. It's down at 5%. And now the game is over, really, for Tusk. Get all that damage back, and we also get more chip on something. We get to really triple axle into this. So technically the game wasn't won here. Now the game's won with this Ogre Pawn. It's dead. It needs to crit here, and Hands needs to out damage us with Drain. Out. Not crit. Even if it did crit, we're fine because we have Trailblaze on Hearthflame and we just Trailblaze in the Hands. Because it will not be in a good HP range after taking it. To see a crit there wouldn't have killed, so you'd have to crit here for it to become a problem, and Tusk doesn't win. But if he did crit there, he's up Thunderwave, Ogre Pawn win. But he doesn't crit there, and then we proceed to win with the goat. So this game was battle in mainly mental fortitude to see if we can actually come back into this. It was probably the unluckiest game of Pokemon Draft League I've ever played. And we were able to bring what was a 6-0 probably from the start. We hit one of the first focus blast in the Torn to a 2-0 victory for ourselves. It definitely did not look great from the get-go. Our Crown was practically dead. Our Torn Track was practically dead within the first 10 turns. And then we just were able to apply pressure with Hydreigon and Weavile and get this Tuscan to win the game. I'm very proud of this game, actually, because, like, you look at it and it's, you shouldn't win. Like, you've had the best this is probably one of the best leads I've ever, like, put together. So we just took momentum from the start, just forced him to play into us, and then we lost the Dio speed. And now we're playing from behind. And he's got all the momentum because he's got his Terra guy in. And he's got coverage for everything on the team except Hydreigon. So Hydreigon can't really hit it. You know, at some point we can get a free 60 damage with Weavile, but we cannot ever clean the Torn up other than with. So thank you guys for watching this and the rambling at the end. Again, MCA Week 1, good game. Hypothetically, the access speed 6-0s. It's basically an SEC guy. Hypothetically, Vanderbilt's the national championship winner if they get in the NCAA playoffs, you know? Kind of like that. Thank you guys for watching.